The Kansas State legislative session starts in less than 1 week. The first day of session is January 12th, where the legislators in the House and Senate, 125 from the House, 40 from the Senate, across the state of Kansas will come together in Topeka at the state capitol for session to begin. Legally, session is supposed to be about 90 days, and it is predicted, as same as last year, that they are not going to go over. What is different this year is it's an election year for the governor's race, for the House race, I think for Congress, but we're really focusing on the state level here. Our current governor, Governor Laura Kelly, is actually termed out of her governorship, so it is an open seat. Currently, there has been a handful of folks who have expressed and filed to run for governor. And we also seen folks this past summer file on the House side for their re-elections and any that wants to challenge. So because it's an election year, especially with the governorship, that's the Senate President, Ty Masterson, is actually running for governor in the Republican primary. It is a big incentive for the legislatures to in session as early as possible, because in Kansas state statute, when a sitting legislator is in session, they cannot accept any contributions from political action committees, also known as PACs. So they are actually missing out on a lot of that donation dollars for the chance to get a head up on finances and campaign finances. Not only is fundraising important, it's also important on both parties, maybe all parties, I don't know. It is true on the Democratic side as well that there are often national thresholds, fundraising limits that you have to try and fundraise towards to be taken seriously to gain support of national people. The session starting just less than a week away. Here are 3 things that I think you should know. If you go to pluralpolicy.com, you can type in your address and figure out who is your state legislatures. Every person in Kansas has a House and Senate member, and a lot of people don't know who represents them. So you can just actually put in your address and it should tell you who your House and Senate members are. Part 2, once you figure out who they are, make sure you follow them on either social media if they're social media savvy, or subscribe to their newsletters. A lot of politicians have websites and do a e-blast or a newsletter or maybe mail. And I know that pretty much for a fact because on the House side, both Republicans and Democrats, and I believe on the Senate side too, they usually have a communications person on the House Democrats, House Republicans, Senate Democrats, Senate Republicans. And it is usually within their job description to create a weekly newsletter for the legislators. When I was a legislator, I would take those newsletter templates and use them, especially on a busy week. They're really useful because you have no idea what is happening in other committees as well. But also to use the template and just tailor it towards my own sound issues that I find as a priority to my community. So that is my second piece of advice. And then my third piece of advice is probably just to Google what is going on. Google the Kansas State Legislature. Here in Kansas, we have a fabulous local reporting. The Kansas Reflector does a fabulous job, and they have state reporters. I'm forgetting what news network she works for, but Rebecca Chung is a fabulous reporter who reports out of Topeka as well. So, anytime she needed a quote or an interview, I'd be like, yes, girl. So, there is really great reporters, and I'm not too sure how people are doing State House reporting, but back in my day, when Twitter was still Twitter, that is where a lot of the reporting took place. But I think now a lot of it does happen on TikTok and Instagram. So I would make sure to follow your local news reporting outlet and then follow like the Reflector and other regional media outlets. And then find some reporters who report from the State House that you find trusted. Or maybe there's some news media reporters who might have a different perspective on things. So yeah, those are my 3 simple tips. I will try to give you some more tips, but I'm preparing for tennis now.